steal these easy Facebook ad designs, and how to make them for free. What's up, marketers? One of the most common questions I get asked is, how can you make really easy Facebook ads creative that scales and grows my business? And oh yeah, can you do it for free? Well, all of the ads I'm gonna show you today, you can make for free easily in Canva. And no, this is not sponsored by Canva. I don't even have an affiliate link for Canva, but Canva, if you are listening. So the first ad that I want to talk about is an ad that I have talked about quite a bit on this channel, but it is the features, benefit, point out style of ad. Now, I actually have a 4-play board that shows several different examples of these kinds of ads, but the ones that I find that tend to work the best are if, number one, you can mine your customer reviews, AKA that means go through all of the reviews that your customers have made about the product and find the benefits or the features that they reference the most and make sure that that benefit or feature is at the top of the ad unit. So we have this Mott & Bow one right here, men's lift up, best kept secret. Fits like a glove. This is probably something that they saw a lot in their customer reviews. Good looking butt, probably something they also saw quite a bit. I also really like this ad because it's using a studio or lifestyle shot that's clearly, highly produced, but they're keeping it a little bit more organic by using an Instagram Stories font overlay. And yes, this is something that you can do directly in Instagram Stories, or you can do something like this Mott & Bow ad that is going to be probably more executed in something like Canva. But this Ipsy ad is something that you can easily do if you only have product photos. And if you don't even have product photos, yes, you can also do something kind of like this quality edit ad where you're using something for UGC. But as something special, I also did recreate an ad in Canva directly for you guys for a pair of socks that doesn't exist. Literally, I just Googled pair of socks. And this is something that I was able to make super easily. Now, I think what really stands out for these type of ads is to have a really engaging headline, and you can even use something that's directly from a customer review. And then really, do your best to point out the features or benefits that are the most engaging. I've also seen that backgrounds that aren't white tend to do better than just plain white backgrounds. But honestly, it's really the content and the copy that's gonna really make a movement and an impact here. And yeah, in Canva, this is super easy to make. I literally just used add a header, made sure that it was centered. I picked up some different lines from the Elements tab right over here, and simply just, added some additional text right here. And then for the gradient, was able to select one of the different gradients that they already have pre-made. So literally, this could not be easier as long as you have the right type of product shot. And again, you can easily do this with your iPhone. Now, the next ad that I'm going to show you is the us versus them ad. Now, honestly, I see a lot of brands really overcomplicate this. So you can see this 4-play board has tons of examples of, true classic. So you're using UGC or even more studio wear like My Subscription Addiction or Perfect Kato or Curology. But you can also do this in a way that's much simpler, kind of like this Kobe's Bomb ad, which is done really well, and candidly probably done in Canva too. So I also created a Canva ad for us versus them. Here I have the outline of one, right? So all that I did was add this line, put these socks on one end, these socks on the other. And really it's gonna be as easy as putting an us or your brand name and then doing them. And really the thing that's gonna be really important here is you're gonna be adding benefits that make you stand out from the competition, whether or not that competition is going to be more general and just the them, the other, or a really specific competitor. It's really interesting, actually. I've had a lot of feedback on my TikTok about this style ad where particularly women founders felt like it was dragging other people down. I really don't view this ad as that. I actually view it as a way to make sure that the right customers are going with you for the right reasons. Because I do think that in a way, sometimes they would be better suited for your competitors. And this is a good way to kind of weed them out and shove them in the other direction, especially if they're trying to go to your competitors for something like, oh, it's cheaper, but it's lower quality, but they don't really care about that because they want to have that cheaper price point. There's a product for everyone. So let me try and just do this really quickly. This is a pro tool, but I do like having the background remover. Honestly, I also use Canva for my thumbnails. So we have that. Oh, I like how that stands out and it's like boring white socks. So we have sexiest socks ever. And I try to line it. This is also part of the reason why I like Canva, because I can sort of line it up with, there we go. Maybe that's a little better? Okay. And then you would just fill in the value props. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But honestly, the really big thing that's gonna make this work is what you have for us versus what you have with them. So keep that in mind. Number 3 is the statistics-based ad. Now, the reason why statistic-based ads are so popular and so effective is because it gives people a logical reason to buy your product. Now, buying a product is largely an emotional experience, but I've found that when you can directly add in statistics to your ad content, that actually tends to result in better conversions, with one really big caveat. The statistic should not be about the problem. So you shouldn't say something like 1 in 3 people have problems smoking, or 1 in 3 people experience this flaw. But what you should concentrate on is the benefit added or the changed experience that people have from your product. So this Ilia ad is a really great example of this. It says 91% said under eyes were brightened, 93 said under eyes were felt smoother, and 100% said concealer applied more smoothly. Now, of course, you don't want to lie about this, but this is something that you can do through a quantitative survey with your past customers. This is something that you can also do a little bit more broadly by doing qualitative surveys. So this is something that I think is really, really valuable and something that founders should really invest in to get this kind of quant data so that they can use this kind of stuff not only in their advertising and in their Facebook ads, but also just generally for their marketing materials. Oh God, I'm sort of embarrassed to show the one that I made for this one, but you can really make this as easy as, hey, you know, let's have a statistic and let's make it really engaging and let's plop it, you know, on this background right here. Again, I would really try and play a little bit with the sort of background that you have for these, and you can add like a light color, but then you can say, hey, I'm going to add some different lines in terms of like framing. So if you wanted to have like bigger framing or whatever, or you wanted to have, you know, something like this in the background, and you can position it so that it goes backwards, and maybe you want to like lighten it up and do something like that. Like, there are so many different ways that you can make this more engaging for users and like kind of add some design flair. You just kind of have to play around with it. But I do think that, you know, these kind of ads can be rather simple. And the 4th one is actually one that I've never talked about before on this channel, which I like to call a headline winner. Now, I think that this is actually something that people tend to see a lot out there, but it's taking your best headline or your best sub tag or really the best framing for your product and simply putting it on a piece of product photography. A lot of times I see this as meet XYZ brand and then something clever about the brand. I used to see this a lot more, I think, before UGC became the heyday and the trend. That's how I find a lot of people are pushing forward with their advertising, but I still think that there is a lot of room, especially for newbie advertisers and new business owners, to simply put their product or their service front and center and adding the best headline that showcases, hey, this is what we are, this is what we do, and this is why you should love us. So honestly, we could take something like this, the statistics, and come up with something really clever for it. So what could we say, right? These socks didn't change the world, but they changed my feet. You know, or whatever. It can be whatever. And that's it. If you guys have any questions about any of the ads shown today, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and please like and subscribe because that really does help me out as a creator, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.